Hey there guys, welcome back to Algebra 1. This is going to be the first lesson of your spring semester, adding and subtracting polynomials. This is day 1 of our Unit 6 module. Now, hopefully you're watching this before coming to the live class, as this is indeed part 1 of your notes, therefore should be watched ahead of time before part 2. So generally here we're going to be identifying polynomials. The students will be able to identify different algebraic terms within a polynomial. So generally here is just the basic foundations you'll need so that we can do examples during class. Now, anything we go over in this part notes for today will not be part of your notes template, just because I assumed a lot of you guys have forgotten to watch your part notes ahead of time. But from here on out, your part 1 notes will be part of your notes template, and you will have to do it ahead of time since it will be the easier examples first. Now getting into it, now we're going to do with some vocabulary. Now a polynomial is another word for an expression. It is divided by algebraic terms. In fact, it has to have 2 or more algebraic terms. Now algebraic terms are basically different items within the expression separated by a plus or minus symbol. So if we look here, I have 3 algebraic terms. Now we can go more specific vocabulary, but the most important ones you need to know is constant. I will be using this word a lot. A constant is a number without a variable, like 9, 25, -5, 15. Then you can get into coefficient, number in front of variables, the letters, or terms. Once again, the individual items within an expression or polynomial separated by plus or minus line. Now they can also have addition or multiplication and division signs, but in this case, since we're doing addition and subtraction, we're only going to be focusing on plus or minus. So for polynomials, when we're adding or subtracting, generally what we're doing is we're combining like terms or simplifying. These mean the exact same thing. So we're just doing this to polynomials, where once again, polynomials are an expression of 2 or more algebraic terms. So we're going to kind of make the connection of taking inventory. So you can think of it as taking inventory. So first you have to identify what each items you have in front of you. Then you categorize. These are similar, these are separate. So for example here, if I took inventory of the image beside me, I would say that I have 1 orange and 1 green apple. Going on to the next slide, and I know this seems simple for right now, but bear with me. You have 1 red apple and 2 oranges. Now notice I'm being specific. I don't just say I have 1 apple, because there's different types of apples, different colors, so you want to be as specific as possible when you're taking inventory. So similarly here, I can see I have 2 oranges, but how many green apples? Well, you have, if you count it out, 8 green apples. So you have 2 oranges and 8 green apples. Once again, 8 green apples, 1 red apple here. So keeping that in mind, how would you take inventory of this image? Be careful. Consider the image carefully. We want a complete and detailed list. Keep in mind, they may be similar, but we have to differentiate the difference even within things that are closely similar. So, great. If you were able to do it and say that you had 1 green apple, 2 red apples, and 2 oranges, then you did just fantastic. Notice we want to be as specific as possible. We do not just want to say we have 3 apples. We want to differentiate and say we have 2 red apples, 1 green apple. Now, it's kind of tricky because even though they're the same fruit, we can have different colors of fruit. Well, this kind of goes into what we're going to deal with polynomials. If we assign a variable to each polynomial, for example, the reds are x's, my greens are x squared, and my oranges are y, then we can write a polynomial where we have 1 green apple, 2 red apples, and 2 oranges. Now be careful here. Notice, even though we have the same variable, they have different exponents. So these are not like terms. I cannot combine these two because they have different exponents. So similar to having same fruit but different colors, we can have same variables with different exponents. This is one of the most foundational ideas of polynomials and is usually where students make mistakes, so make sure you understand this. Now, just to end this video, let's make a connection. So in the real world, taking inventory is a vital part of any business. It's important to make sure every count is correct and that you clearly differentiate between items, especially items that are closely similar. For example, having same items in different colors or sizes. You don't just want to say I have 1,000 shirts in stock. You want to be specific. I have 200 extra smalls. I have 300 smalls. I have 100 larges. You want to be as specific as possible when you're taking inventory. Similarly, in Algebra 1, combining like terms is one of the foundational skills for Algebra 1 and beyond, especially for Unit 6 and going into Unit 7. Being able to identify like terms is very, very important. It's important to differentiate between different algebraic terms, especially terms with same variable but different powers. This is where students, once again, may make mistakes where they may see, oh, they have the same variable, but be careful. Make sure they have the same exponents. If they have different exponents, they are not like terms, and you cannot combine them. So that is the end of part 1 of your notes. So your code word, hopefully you have your sign down because I'm not going to write it down, is popcorn. So as soon as you join the live chat for Zoom, make sure to put it in the chat. Welcome back, guys, and I hope to see you guys during our live Zoom class.